Go ahead.
Okay, so this is my last meal before my big 28-day juice extravaganza. So what other way to go out than with Indian food at the Taj Mahal on Midnight Road? Okay, thank you, John. Hi, everybody. We are through the holidays, and today's episode is all about buyers. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or this is your second, third, fourth home, we want to talk a little bit today about the process. The first thing you want to do, absolutely the first thing you want to do, is hook up with an agent. I always tell people it's important to interview a couple agents. You don't want to just meet somebody at an open house or use a cousin, sister's, uncle's best friend. You want to know that the person that you're working with, the person that's representing you and negotiating your deal from start to end, is the most qualified person, because let's face it, this is your biggest investment. When you identify a few realtors that you'd like to sit down and meet with, there's some important questions to ask. You want to know, how many deals have they closed last year? How many buyers have they worked with? What are they most comfortable or feel their strongest attribute is in the process? Personally, I think you really want to find an agent that is extremely strong in negotiations. Because as you go through the process, you have your inspections and there's always stuff that comes up. You want to make sure your agent can negotiate the deal through for you. Also, you want to know that your agent has a lot of experience and also has a lot of connections within the industry. You want to know that your agent has a closing company that they're, if not affiliated with, one that they've had a lot of experience using. That way, as you move down through the process, everything goes smoothly. Another thing to keep in mind with your realtor, you want to make sure that they listen. You don't want to feel like you're being pushed, pulled, prodded. You want your realtor to listen to you, your wants, your needs, and make sure that they work for you. At the end of the day, this is extremely important. Okay, now that you've got your realtor in place, you want to definitely move towards getting pre-approved. You will need a pre-approval in order to make an offer on a property. Your realtor should be able to give you some nice referrals on lenders that they've had experience with. You want someone that's extremely responsive. You want someone that you know if you have questions, you can get a response from them at maybe 4 o'clock on a Sunday. That's a good lender. You also want to make sure that their rates and fees are competitive, and that if you have any questions, they can answer it and make it crystal clear for you, because this is a complex and complicated part of the transaction. Now that you have your pre-approval in hand, you can start looking for homes. What I like to do is typically go and knock out, say, 5 to 8 properties in one day, go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, just so you can get a good feel of what's out there, currently active and available in the marketplace. If you are just kind of dipping your toe into the water, you probably don't want to go take your realtor out at that point. You probably just want to hit a couple open houses, because of the lack of inventory, properties are moving very quickly, and when it's time for you to actually start shopping, most likely those homes will not be on the market. Once you've found the home of your dreams, it's time to write up the sales agreement. You'll work side by side with your realtor to determine what inspections you want, how you want your name to appear on the deed, when you want your closing to take place, what your financing story looks like. Is it conventional? Is it VA? Is it FHA? Those are all things that you work in conjunction with yourself, your lender, and your realtor. You put the agreement together and present it to the seller. At that point, hopefully, you negotiate back and forth with just the seller and there aren't multiple offers. If there are multiple offers, that's the time you want a real strong agent and get as creative as possible, thinking outside the box. After your agreement has been presented to the seller, hopefully negotiations work their way through and you have an executed agreement of sale. At that point, you'll need to mail in your hand money to your broker's office and choose your inspector. Again, your realtor comes into play. Hopefully they can refer you to some good inspectors. You also have 7 days to get your formal loan application in. So again, it tends to be a little bit chaotic right after you get your executed agreement. Real important to have an experienced realtor there and an experienced lender to make sure that you can just kind of flow through seamlessly. After your inspections, I always tell people there will be things that come up. At that point, you negotiate through your inspections. If you can't work it out with the seller, you would terminate the transaction, your hand money is returned to you. If you can negotiate through the inspections, you then move one step closer towards closing. We talked a little bit about choosing a closing company. There's a lot of great closing companies out there. You would want to make sure that the closing company does receive your executed agreement of sale in a timely manner so that they can do a title search and receive all the tax liens and everything that they need to get to ensure that the property can close on time. They pull the seller and the closer together and make the actual closing day happen. Well, that's kind of a quick, brief overview of the steps that you take in order to buy a property. So again, we are in the middle of January, and it should hopefully be a strong buyer's market. They are anticipating that rates will be somewhere right around 5.5 by the end of the year. So if you've been sitting on the couch kind of questioning whether it's time to buy, the answer would be yes. It's hard to say after this year if interest rates will continue to rise, but we don't see or feel any reason why they wouldn't. And also, again, inventory is an issue. So go out there, find a great realtor, give us a call. We can always help you out here at RE/MAX 360 Realty. Have some exciting news. So anyway, just wanted to let everybody know, all the buyers out there, first-time home buyers or just regular buyers, we are going to be doing a first-time home buyer / buyer workshop sometime within the next 7 to 8 weeks. I'll be pumping out a lot of information on that in the weeks to come, but it should be a great opportunity for buyers to get some valuable information on how to go through the process. Cheers, peace, love, and a lot of real estate.